All right, everyone, welcome back into another fantasy golf video. Going to be getting into the round 3 picks here for you guys, talking about the best showdown plays, giving you guys some 3-ball bets for round 3, and then we are getting some underdog props, so I'll be touching on that as well. But first, a quick recap from yesterday. So yesterday was pretty awesome. Hopefully you guys were able to take advantage of it. So right from the video, guys, from yesterday, was able to take home a 2nd and 3rd place for the Showdown GPP in the Mini-Max, which is pretty awesome. Straight from the video that you guys watched yesterday. Again, the tool that I showed you guys available for $10 a month gives you access to that tool as well as everything else I'm showing you guys in this video. Pretty awesome day though, pretty good stuff. And so in total on the week already, with the 3 balls going 2-0-1, there's 1 push, but 2 of them hit. The 3-ball bets are at about 5 units of profit already, and then about 38.5 on the week already. So it's been a good stretch. Hopefully we can continue that into round 3. Now we do look at the leaderboard that we have for round 3 or heading into round 3, and we're going to see much better golfers popping up in here. Okay, that is pretty clear and evident. I will say Sam Burns' round was extremely annoying. Like it seemed like he left a lot of strokes out there, and really the last 2 days, it really felt like he's probably played the best out of anyone, except for really a couple of mental blunders on a few shots. It's just watching the other golfers, even compared to Scotty, which it sounds weird to say with Scotty, but it really has felt like Sam Burns has played better than Scotty. Just obviously Scotty's mistakes that he makes are smaller. You know, that obviously that's what makes Scotty one of the best players in the world. But we're seeing Wyndham Clark playing well again. Not really a big shot there. I will say Hideki playing well, kind of a big shock. We look at the ownership. Again, I'm going to continue to harp this, I think. Min-Woo Lee being chalk, it did seem like it could be bad chalk. That is starting to come through. You look at some of the potential pivots that you would have been on instead of him. They all made the cut, and those are Emiliano Grillo was one of them, EVR another one, Andrew Putnam another one of them, and then Taylor Moore somewhat, Patrick Rogers somewhat, and you would have been paying up for Harris English because that was like the clear-cut best value. So I don't know, just him being that extreme chalk is still a head scratcher. But let's go ahead and get into the round 3 picks. And I do want to start with actually looking at the weather. The Discord chat did remind me that, you know, Saturday was supposed to be the day that was supposed to be windy. So let's take a peek at that. So about 14-mile-per-hour winds right now. Let's see if there's an AM PM advantage at all. And so I like to use the weather channel, whatever. I like to start with the PGA Tour just because it's easier. I'm right there. And then I go to the weather channel. I just tell people when you're looking at weather, honestly, get it from the same source. If you guys are someone that uses Windfinder, great. Continue to do that. But I do think we are seeing like a clear early advantage. Like the earlier the tee times are, probably the better for a lot of these guys. But for a majority of the golfers that are going to be golfing, the weather is going to be about the same. But let's just see. Are we getting any golfers really going off that early? Kind of, I would say, like, if we see that, let's say Keegan's popping, Ricky's popping up in there by chance, you know, Patrick Cantley, if any of these golfers that really have won these significantly earlier tee times, I do think that they could score a little bit better. But really, once we start to get to kind of Rory, Cameron Young, the weather seems to be about the same. So again, we're going to select round 3 on the Showdown tab just to see which golfers can be the best plays for round 3 Showdown. And so, yeah, a lot of these golfers are going to be golfers that have the later tee times. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get like a significant AM PM advantage in terms of the golfers we want to be targeting. Let's just see here. Can we get an early tee time edge at all with any of those golfers? Eric Cole, potentially. Jason Day a little bit, and then from there I think it starts to get thin. Maybe Chris Kirk a little bit as well. Yeah, I'd be fine with those ones. I think those would be fine. Like if you're trying to maybe I guess when you guys are going through doing this, and let's just look at it, Eric Cole, like if we want to give him a slight bump, even though he's already popping up as one of the better plays, I could do that. Eric Cole 52, Kirk, give him a slight bump as well, maybe to 50. Like we don't need to go crazy with this. And then who was the other one? Jason Day. So yeah, I'd be fine with Jason Day as well, maybe 52 or so, maybe cap it as well. Like, we don't need to go crazy with that, but I think that those are fine. But again, as a whole, I don't think we're going to get that big of an advantage. So I will say I was a little bit shocked at how chalky Justin Thomas was, even though he was someone that was kind of popping up. You guys saw some of the players that were popping up a little bit better. Benny Ann was one of those golfers. Tough to say, like, for sure if you need to do that. But even looking at this, guys, again, going back to the tee times, like Chris Kirk, that's pretty late in the day. Jason Day, that's pretty late in the day as well. And heck, Eric Cole's tee time is going to be pretty late as well. I don't know if we need to be looking at that really too much. I don't even know if I really want to do those bumps to them because they're already gonna be pulling in pretty well. So yeah, I just don't think we need to do any big differences here. So let's just jump into the live strokes here just so you guys can see the strokes game putting. Again, I know a lot of people like to look at that. I kind of always like to say, like, it's weird to just look at one stat as like the one all be all stat for a lot of people, but I get it. People like looking at this, so I'll show you guys it. So again, set the field stat rank to 1. Jump on in here. We're just going to sort it by live versus season. So players that putted well this season that maybe are not putting well right now. Hoagie could improve. JT Poston could improve. Adam Hadwin. EVR. Yeah, EVR kind of had a solid round 1-ish. Bad round 2. He's someone I could look at. Harris English as well. He kind of let some strokes go by. I could see him having a better day as well. Yeah, I'd be fine with those plays. Let's look at the opposite of this. Yeah, Hideki's putting well. Lee Hodges putting well. Max Homa made a bunch of putts today. Not that good for Jason Day popping up in here, but I don't think we're going to be too worried about that. Rory really putted well today after putting terribly yesterday, so kind of interesting there. But yeah, let's just kind of run this and see what we're getting. I haven't ran this at all, so I'm super interested to see what players we get. So again, all I do, and I showed you guys the magic trick. I hopefully the cat's not out of the bag, because I did this like 2 years ago, and then the rest of the industry like caught up to like how to be successful with round 3 showdown. Maybe it was 3 years ago, how to be successful with showdowns, and I really hate that I did that, because then everyone kind of figured it out. Everyone else started doing showdown content. But yeah, I would say no real shocks in terms of the players we want to be going out of our way to target. We're seeing Sam Burns, Willie Z, JT Clark, Eric Cole, Brian Harmon. The only issue again is that they have later tee times, and so with that wind being as windy as it is, there is a slight concern there. And just as an FYI, guys, when you are doing these settings, if you do 20 lineups, then it'll just kind of default to 40 for max exposure. If you do 150 lineups, it would switch it a little bit. And so I'll kind of show you guys what that looks like as well. So yeah, the ownerships are going to be a little bit more spread out. We're going to get a little bit more exposures to players. I will say Xander, I am intrigued with. I actually like that call a decent amount. The one thing I might do is try to force in a little bit more Scotty. You know, only having 13% of him, with him being, you know, an extremely consistent golfer. I probably want more of that. And I will say Rory, I want to be double. Rory was strange chalk as well this week. He was strange chalk last week, strange chalk this week. Just pricing wise, he's priced up a little bit too high the last couple of weeks. And I feel like people are name value with him. Yeah, I probably want, if I'm having Rory at 13%, which I'm fine with, I would want to get at least 26% Scotty. But that's probably the only difference I would try to force in here. And the way I do that is just I'm going to bump Scotty's projection up a little bit to like 54, and I probably cap it then, because I like yesterday, I don't want to change the data too much. I want the data to tell me who to play. I want the data to spit out the best lineups, but that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Now with that, guys, let's go ahead and show you guys the 3-ball bets. And I get that they're technically not 3-ball bets, they're matchup bets. It's just what the tool is listed under, okay? The ties and whatnot, whatever. You guys get it, okay? So what we're going to see here is it's a little bit more interesting. So we got Xander versus Mingwoo Lee. The industry might not agree with that. We'll see, but that's a pretty good bet. Xander's been playing well. He's someone that I think does pop. Scotty over Wyndham Clark. I don't know if I feel the need to mess around with that. Clark is playing some great golf. Scotty, you know, I just don't think I want to touch that. Patrick Hanley over Seamus Power, I do like. Cameron Young over Lucas Glover. Are they playing together again? I think no. Cameron Young played with Ricky in round 1 and 2. But yeah, I like Cameron Young there. We saw Jason Day going to be a decent round 2 play, so I like that. One that I don't like here that I find interesting, Pavon over Eric Cole. So we saw Eric Cole is going to be a good showdown play, and that data does go into this. But yeah, I don't want to touch that, guys. I'm not using that one. So for me, it's going to be Xander, it's going to be Cantlay, it's going to be Cameron Young, and then Jason Day. I'm pretty good with those 4. Those are going to be my 3-ball bets, matchup bets, whatever. You guys get it. And now with that, let's go ahead and get into the underdog prop bets. And before I get into the prop bets for say, I do want to call it, guys, follow the 9to5 golf Twitter account. Okay, it's Eric Polzin Golf, 9to5 Golf, whichever you guys want to call it, you can call it that. But jump in there and follow that. This is something I tweeted out basically right after the video was posted, because Underdog came out with these right after. I ended up just running out these first 2 pretty heavily, and it cashed pretty easily. I mean, this really wasn't even close. Like these cashed extremely easily. So hopefully we can get some of these popping up again today. And so again, I don't want to sound like I'm pushing the 9to5 tools, but again, this is covered in your $10 a month membership. I know there's other in the industries that just charge like $10 for you to be a part of their chat, which I find strange. Interesting here. So I think this is due to the weather, okay? And this is where I struggle with the data sometimes. I'm very curious to see where the PrizePicks lines comes out, because these birdie or better lines are extremely low. But do any of these golfers have early tee time? Like Ricky does, I believe, right? Ricky has the earliest tee time. Tom Kim has the early tee time. Denny has the early tee time as well. Eric Cole relatively early, but that's starting to get too late. Yeah, honestly, Ricky and Tom Kim for over birdies or better. Like so the reason why these are popping up so much is because of the weather. This is based off of the historical data. Underdog is currently adjusting for, the projected weather, the wind to be more difficult. That being said, we are seeing Tom Kim, Ricky Fowler, they are going to get a slight AM advantage. 2.5 birdies does seem to be too low there. So I'd be fine, I think, rolling with those. Now, another way you could go about attacking those is going to be these fantasy score ones. These are extremely low line. And to me, I'm wondering if the tournament actually plays a little bit easier on Saturday if they want some scoring, and then on Sunday it's a grueling test. Tough to say for sure, but we might see a little bit of an easier setup tomorrow. But yeah, these fantasy score prop bets, if you guys don't like these ones, those are pretty good. So let me give you guys a bet for these two separate ones, okay? And just real quickly before I give you guys those props, I do want to call it that the data will be updating to reflect some of the lines that are put out there by PrizePicks, because Underdog could just be completely different than what PrizePicks is saying. So we might actually get a massive edge. We'll see. But again, the data will update once the PrizePicks lines are available. Obviously, they're not available right now. And so looking at the birdie or better ones, I'm perfectly fine with these two. Again, these two are going to have the earlier tee times. If players are going to score, it should be those two. They don't grade out the best for round 3 showdown. I want to call that out, but there's several par 5s. Again, the wind could be challenging, don't get me wrong, but that might promote an easier setup. And as I'm recording this right now, I don't know what the setup is going to be. That's not out yet. And looking at the fantasy score, guys, this seems like an extreme adjustment from the big edges that we got yesterday with the fantasy score props. That's why I like to come out with these. We are seeing these ones have about a 55% edge, and this is kind of based off of how Underdog is saying that the round's going to go. This is based off of their data that we're getting that decent edge. So Eric Cole, Jason Day for over their fantasy score. Again, they have a slightly-ish earlier tee time. Again, I don't think that's going to make that big of a difference. Basically, avoid the double bogeys. That's what this needs to be. But we'll see. But that's going to be all for this video. Make sure to give a like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Give me a follow on Twitter as well. Would appreciate that, guys. Head on over to 95sports.com to get access to all that fantasy golf data tools for just $10 a month. Thanks for watching. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.